Hello viewers and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to take a look on important matters happening in the nation Zimbabwe. And we are taking a look on the under Anselm Namu Sanyatwe. The man is in trouble and the lawyers have started pressing him hard. Advocate Fulcrum has tasked this man to issue an apology and also to retract his statements or else face the consequences. This is something very important happening at this point in time in Zimbabwe. Remember, this man gave these utterances on a rally and it didn't go well with a lot of people. So Advocate Fulcrum says, war heroes don't intimidate civilians, they protect them. Sanyatwe must stick to his constitutional role and leave politics to politicians. The nation deserves a military that safeguards democracy, not one that undermines it. It is in that context that I have written to Sanyatwe. And this is a letter directed to Anselm Sanyatwe himself from Advocate Tabani Mpofu. And it's dated 3 July. It means this is a letter of today. And this is Lieutenant General A.N. Sanyatwe, Commander Zimbabwe National Army, and addressed to Defense House. So he says, the reference is your partisan and politically charged utterances. Say, it has come to my attention that you have been recorded addressing a gathering of multitudes in the following manner, per my translation. So he has given a translation of what this Adala said during an address where he clearly indicated that ZANU-PF inofana kuramba ichitonga kusvika madongi amera nyanga. And also the slogans which he made, as well as he spoke in his capacity as the commander army. So this is something very important. And he says that according to section 208, we spoke about this section, according to section 208.2 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, in that you as a member of the security service, the Zimbabwe National Army, in so uttering the statements in public gathering acted in a partisan manner, and B, furthered the interests of a political party, ZANU-PF, C, he prejudiced the lawful interests of a legitimate political cause, opposition to ZANU-PF, going so far as viewing your own people who depend on you for protection as enemies. This is very important. What happens is the role of the defense forces is to protect the people of Zimbabwe, the citizens of Zimbabwe. These people are employed by the state to protect the people who make up the state. So this comrade is wrong, and if he's serious about serving as a National Army commander, he must retract and withdraw, like what Advocate Fulcrum is asking for. Section number 2, Section 155 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe and the Electoral Act, Chapter 213, was also violated by threatening to rig elections in favor of ZANU-PF and against the opposition. He said it clearly. He said it clearly, which means all elections we've been having right here in Zimbabwe, it's the same modus operandi. This is the reason why Nelson Chamisa won and they declared Emerson Mnangagwa. How are they going to justify that E.D. Mnangagwa won an election when such utterances are there? So if you read the first schedule of the Defense Act, Chapter 1102, the conduct of Anselm Sanyatwe by uttering the above statements was unbecoming of an officer and a gentleman, as it amounted to willful and wanton violation of the Constitution and the laws of Zimbabwe. So Advocate Fulcrum says, I therefore write to demand, as I now do, that you unreservedly withdraw your above statements within 7 days of your receipt of this letter, failing which I shall take steps to ensure that appropriate remedies under the law are put in motion. In the meantime, sir, I remain. So this is what is happening. This is Advocate Tabani Mpofu has taken this matter to General Anselm Sanyatwe. He has addressed him in person so that he withdraws what he said regarding the utterances he made at a rally. So this is very important because that withdrawal will then be published to the people of Zimbabwe so that the people of Zimbabwe will know that this man spoke out of ignorance and he has apologized, which means that is not the position. This will enable the people of Zimbabwe to continue hold ZANU-PF to account of its actions. Failure to do so, what it means is Zimbabwe constitution aichashanda. That will be a total suspension of the constitution. If this matter is taken to court, especially the constitutional court, demanding removal of Anselm Sanyatwe from the military, and if the constitutional court fails to hear this matter, what it means is then that will be a full declaration by the constitutional court that the constitution of 2013 and its amendments has been successfully suspended. It means the country will be working without the laws, the country will be working without the constitution. Inenge ya wada yako tamba yako. So from there, we will make it to be known to ZANU-PF kuti vanenge vasina kodzero yekusunga vanhu. ZANU-PF mapurisa anenge asina kodzero yekusunga vanhu kana Anselm Sanyatwe kana akaramba kuapologize, kana akaramba kuretracta mashoko aya. That is the honest truth, because the constitution must be respected by every citizen. Every citizen, whether you are a civilian or you are an officer in the military or whatever, you must respect the constitution. And I applaud Advocate Fulcrum for taking this step to correct this madness. This is something very important. Something very, very, very important, something which we can't ignore as a nation. We really need these things to be done better. But what these guys are doing, it's wrong. In all angles, these men are wrong. You cannot go about threatening your own people. You cannot go about threatening citizens. And I agree with Advocate Fulcrum, and we will need to see this matter going to its finality. We need to see this man, Anselm Sanyatwe, answering and facing the law as it is. And here is my view. As long as you have a constitution, if that constitution is violated willfully, especially by the people who are supposed to be protecting it, and if the matter goes to the constitutional court, and if the constitutional court dismisses the matter or fails to hold this person accountable, then what it means is the country becomes a lawless country. It becomes a country without a constitution, which means inenge ya tamba ya wada. That is the honest truth. So, to be honest, if Emmerson Mnangagwa was the real president of Zimbabwe, he could have fired this man Anselm Sanyatwe immediately. Kutaura kwatiri kuita, Anselm Sanyatwe angadai atosangana netsamba iya yakasangana na deputy minister vaya. He could have been instructed to leave and replaced in the Zimbabwe National Army. But it's because the Anselm Sanyatwe is doing the bidding of ZANU-PF. This is the reason why they've kept him up to this hour. Honestly speaking, those utterances were reckless. Very, very, very reckless. If there was a law in Zimbabwe, this man could be home. So this is what is happening to Zimbabwe. Advocate Fulcrum has written a letter to Anselm Sanyatwe demanding that he retracts what he said during that rally. Failure, then we have to take this matter further. So this is it. This is what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. More troubles for the army boss Anselm Sanyatwe. But we wait to see what is going to happen. Is he going to apologize? We have to wait and see. But this is the letter which has been written. So it is what it is. We'll continue to watch and see what is going to happen next. My name is Ronald Wekamakusha.